All right, so now I am live on YouTube. Oh my God, this camera works way better than my last one. Okay, so hello, welcome to Life Insurance with Jessica, everybody. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I want to start somewhere personal tonight because this isn't just a product that I sell. This is something I wish somebody had set me down and explained years ago. I remember looking at my bills one month, looking at my kids and thinking, if something happened to me tomorrow, what would I leave them? Not just love, not just memories, what would I actually leave them? And the honest answer was nothing. Stop it. Okay. So, and the honest answer was nothing. No cash, no plan, no protection. Just the hope that someone would figure it out. That was the moment I got serious about the IUL. The IUL is an Index Universal Life Insurance. And tonight I'm going to break it down so simply that by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what it is, who it's for, and whether it makes sense for you and your family. Okay. So let's talk about what an IUL actually is, because people hear life insurance and they think it's just a death benefit, right? That's only part of the story. IUL stands for Index Universal Life Insurance. It does three things at once, and this is what makes it different from a term or a whole life policy. One, it protects your family with a death benefit, right? If something happens to you, they're covered. Two, it builds cash value over time, okay? Real money you can actually access while you're still alive, right? And three, the cash value grows based on market index, right? Which like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and they're doing 10 to 12% right now. And that's what I'm able to get people. But you have a floor. So when the market goes down, you don't lose, you just gain that year, right? Then when it goes up, you participate usually up to a cap, right? So it's like index, it's like a staircase. I always say it like this. IUL lets you play offense and defense at the same time, right? And IUL helps you play offense and defense at the same time. Okay. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Jessica, this is just for the rich people because I'm just out here trying to survive. Let me tell you something. IUL is designed for everybody and every family based on you and your situation, right? If you're a parent who wants to leave something behind, IUL. If you're someone trying to build wealth, but the stock market scares you, get an IUL. If you want life insurance that does more than pay you out when you die, IUL. If you want a tax advantage savings vehicle you can borrow against for a house, college, or business, get an IUL. The people who need this most are the people who are never told about it, and that's why I do what I do. Comment ready below if you want me to run numbers for your specific situation. Okay. So let me show you why this thing is so powerful. Let's say you're 30 years old and you put $300 a month in, right? In a savings account at most banks, you're getting maybe a 0.5% interest rate. 1% if you're lucky. After 30 years, you've got something, but inflation has eaten most of it, right? In an IUL, depending on how the index performs, you could be looking at a 6 to 9% average credited interest, right? And we like to underpromise and overdeliver, the companies that I worked for. You're protected from market losses and growing tax deferred. By retirement, that same $300 a month could become a tax-free income stream your family can actually live on for the rest of your life by putting $300 a month in. And that cash value, you don't pay taxes on it when you take it out if it's structured right, right? That's not a loophole. That's the law. The IRS allows it, right? Rich people came up with this and the IRS allows it, right? And we can do it too. It's for me and you too. That's what wealthy families have been using for decades, and now we're talking about it openly, right? So I didn't grow up with anybody explaining anything about finances to me. Nobody set me down and said, Here's how to protect what you build. I had to go find it, right? I had to go find it. I had to go find these people and study it. And I've been studying it for a couple years now and learning it so I can bring it back to the table and teach it to just regular people like me and you, right? That's why I show up every week, because information is protection, right? And you deserve both. We, us regular families, we deserve this information and we deserve this protection, right? Nobody taught me, so I'm out here trying to teach you, because nobody taught it to me and I wish I would have knew it sooner. But I do have a 20-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old daughter, and they do know what I didn't know at their age. So when they're 30 years old, they're going to be set for their families in life because they chose to put up $100 a month because that's what they can afford. And that's going to use the rule of 72. It's going to compound over time with the rule that Albert Einstein invented. And it's going to turn into thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So let's say in 10 years, $100 a month, they'll put maybe $30,000 in and get $80,000 back. I mean, is that a good deal or a great deal? To me, if you can't save, you can only put a little bit up a month. That is a great deal. Okay. So I wish I would have known that sooner, but I'm teaching it to my kids and I'm trying to teach it to you and your kids. I had a lot of friends that have passed away in the past 5 years, and none of them have protection. I've seen their families go through hard times, not only financially, but also grieving from their deaths. And so that's why I'm here today, trying to spread the good news and trying to show people that you can have a life insurance policy to protect you and your family. And it could also be cash building. So that way you can actually retire and have tax-free retirement, unlike a 401k, right? You can actually borrow against the money in an IUL and it looks like it never left, right? You can get small loan rates and it pays itself back because it's making money in there. Like you paid $25 extra a month, you want to take a loan against it, but literally you're paying yourself back. And the money compounds so fast being in there because it looks like it never left. It's just a great deal, right? So if you're ready to get your own personalized IUL illustration, meaning real numbers based on your age, your health, your budget, drop protect in the comments or send me a DM and I will personally reach out and try to help you within your situation, right? If tonight helped you share this with somebody who needs it, you might be the reason they start their generational wealth journey, right? I'm so glad somebody reached out to me so I could start my generational wealth journey, because my kids will have the chance that I never did. And I hope that you want that for you and your kids as well. So before I get out of here tonight, I just want to show you guys a couple things and teach you guys a couple things that I learned in this financial industry. Okay, so there's 3 ways that you can make money, right? There's a thing called a fixed rate. Fixed. I don't know, this is like going to show it backwards. I can't write backwards. There's variable. And then there's index. Index is your staircase. Fixed is your average savings accounts, is your savings accounts. Variable is your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, right? And then index strategy is your IUL. Personally, you should have all 3. You should want to build assets and have all 3 of these things. You should have some money in savings, your emergency fund. You should have a 401k, your variable account, which I do with my job, but it's just not as good as this bad boy right here. This is the Roth on steroids, and it is called an IUL. And this is what I teach regular people like me and you to get, while also having a life insurance policy to protect your family for if anything ever happens to you one day, so you can leave a legacy to them, not a liability. Because I hate to tell y'all this, but if you don't have a backup plan for your family and you have a mortgage or you have bills, it just rolls over to your kids. So do you want to leave them with a legacy or a liability? Because either way it could happen, and it's based on the choices that you make today for your family. And that's just one of the many things that I've learned through life insurance. I also have learned this, that there's different tax brackets and benefits, right? For each thing that you get, for savings, for variable, and for fixed, that there's different ways in tax brackets and codes that you need to know to get these benefits. And me and my team, we know these. So that's why we're sharing these with everybody, right? So you can just freely make an appointment with us to see your situation, right? We can, all you got to do is DM me and I will set up a meeting with you to, based on your situation. Hey, I really want to get something started and my family protected. All I have is $20 a month. We can work with that, right? Obviously, you won't get as good as compound interest as if you put more, but that's your situation. At least you're still protected. If you get cancer, stroke, or heart attack, you have living benefits, unlike at your job. All term policies at your job do not offer living benefits. Okay, I looked it up. None of mine do, or any of my kids that they have at their works, they do. So it's good to see what else is out there, to make appointments with people like me, with other agents, to see what's good for you and your situation. Because I got my friend back here just to remind you that he's coming for all of us, whether we like it or not, and we don't know when. So at least, make the next generation better and more protected, and, get this information out there so that way we can help all the children and everything in generations to come have a better chance than we did, right? Leave them something, leave them a legacy, not your bills, not your mortgage payment and all of that. So y'all just leave me a message if you want to talk more. If not, I'll be here every week still spreading different information that I learn over time by being in this financial industry. And thank y'all for coming in tonight, watching my live. But I do want to end it with my little positive Grim Reaper sayings. Okay. So I'm talking to YouTube too, so I got to put it up here. So tonight, here's my little positive Grim Reaper. And today it says, stay weird. I've seen worse. Stay weird. I've seen worse. So that's how I like to end it with my little positive Grim Reaper. Put them up here. Thank you guys for joining me today on TikTok and YouTube. It has been a pleasure. I am not showcasing this one on YouTube. I do not like this new camera.